So it's official, Canelo Alverez is going to fight Erislandy Lara on July 12th at the NGM Grand in Las Vegas. Whew, what a showdown that's going to be. After Lara punked Canelo at his post-fight press conference with Angulo, Canelo decided that he wants to fight him. He says that's what the fans want to see, so he's going to fight him. And you got to give props to Canelo, man. I mean, Lara's kind of potentially a really dangerous threat to Canelo. He could have picked a much easier option. And Canelo's, Lara, to be honest, isn't really that well known in the general public. Boxing fans will know him, but the general public don't really. But Canelo said that's what the fight fans want to see, so he's going to fight him. And I've just got to give praise to the guy. He took on Angulo, and that guy's a really hard hitter. Don't get me wrong, he's kind of slow, maybe hittable for Canelo. Good fight for him to get back into, but he's still a very dangerous opponent for Canelo. Whereas Lara, you got to remember, Lara, he got knocked down twice by Angulo, but he schooled Austin Trout. And Canelo, I wouldn't say he struggled against Trout, but it was more tight fight than it was with Lara and Austin Trout. And Lara's an amateur champion. He's an amateur world champion, he's a Cuban boxer, and them guys are so technical. And it's a real 50-50 fight at the moment because, will Canelo gas out in the late rounds? Because he does seem to tire a bit later in the rounds. And I think that's mainly because he drains his weight. I think that is the reason why. But, Canelo, I don't want to say this, but I don't really think Canelo possesses one-punch knockout power. I think he can hit quite hard, but he doesn't have that one-punch knockout power. He sort of wears them down. Like when before he fought Mayweather, he was just fighting generally smaller guys like Josito Lopez, is it? When he fought him, don't worry, that guy is tough. He's got a lot of heart. But when he was hitting him, he kept going down, but he wasn't going to be knocked out. He just kept going down. It was that sort of power that will knock you down, but not out. And I think that's just the power Alvarez possesses. But anyway, I do think it could be a good fight. I mean, kudos to Canelo. He's testing himself now. After the Mayweather defeat, it feels like he's pushing himself as if he's realised the fights he had before. Because he was criticised fighting smaller guys and people past their prime and that. As if he's realised if he's going to fight Mayweather again, which they're saying may be Mayweather's last fight, a rematch. See, I think he realised he's got to test himself now. So he's pushing for the hard fights. I mean, he could have taken much easier fights than this, but he's not. And Lara could potentially give him another loss. And I've got a feeling he might. I don't know. But, I'll give props to Canelo. And if he says then he beats Lara and Miguel Cotto beats, who's his name? Oh, come on, don't forget. Sergio Martinez. If Cotto beats him, then Canelo will face Cotto next. And he's just pushing himself. I think this is just in preparation for Mayweather again. There's no point fighting, has-beens and people who are smaller because it doesn't get you anywhere. And I think he's been a bit coasted along his career, and you think he's sort of realised that now, so he's going to take on the tougher challenges out there. And that's giving me a lot more respect for him now because he could potentially, with these fights, lose his he's not unbeaten record, but get another loss, which will, eradicate the Mayweather rematch. But he's still going for it because you never know. That fight, greats have lost before, and I'm really sorry about the dogs, but there's a puppy and that, don't ask. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, greats have lost before, and they've come back stronger. Look at what's his name, Sugar Ray Leonard, when he lost against Roberto Duran. That was his first loss. Yet he come back and he won major titles and that. He got better from it. So the same thing could happen with Canelo. I think Golden Boy do want this guy to be the next pound for pound kind of guy, the next star icon, and I think he could be. He needs to, don't mean it's in a bad way, but he does need to learn English better because, general language. But, as long as he keeps fighting these tough fights, then he'll gain the experience. And I think if he had a rematch with Mayweather after these sort of fights, he could potentially beat him because he's already got the experience of fighting him once. He's not going to make that same mistake again, which would be freaking awesome. That's if Mayweather gets through his fights anyway. Yeah, Lara's a very crafty, technical boxer. I know he got knocked down twice by Angulo. I know it was his first two knockdowns of his entire career, and amateur and professional, But it's just a question if Canelo can do it. But I don't know. I think Canelo might pull it off. Lara's been calling him out for a while now, and Lara's already got a loss. He lost against Paul Williams, but you can't. It's debatable whether he lost that fight or not. But I think you just got to look at what Angulo did in that, and because Canelo's a lot faster than Angulo, I think he will start to get shots through. It's just my only concern is the later rounds where Canelo always seems to tire out. I mean, even this fight, he said he doesn't want Lara's belt on the line, or any of the belts on the line, because he wants it so that if he's a pound overweight, you don't lose your belt on the scale. So it's not for a belt or anything, it's just a fight. And I think Canelo really, how much longer can he make this weight? Because he's either really eating a lot of shit afterwards, after his fights, or this really isn't his natural weight and he needs to go up to middleweight at least. Because on Fight Night he's bloody looks like a cruiserweight or something. I don't know, but his team seems to be doing well. But it should be a good fight, Lara's a very crafty, technical boxer, and if Lara beats Canelo, then Lara's got, the fame and star icon, I guess publicity. And if Canelo loses this, then I think it's really risky in the sense that he won't be seen as this next pound for pound guy. Don't worry, you lose against Mayweather, but everyone says Mayweather's pound for pound champ, so it's nothing to be ashamed of, although he did lose quite badly. So, if he loses this fight, then it's kind of over for him and he's go completely back to the drawing board or move up a weight. But if he wins it, he gains a lot of respect. He gains my respect completely if he wins this fight, because it's a tough fight. So I'm really looking forward to that. Some bloody good fights on this year. And I can't wait to see that. July 12th, MGM Grand Studio. Not I'm going, but, it'll be on pay-per-view. No, Showtime, isn't it? Showtime. So yeah, July 12th. Can't wait for that fight.